Good afternoon, Year 4, and welcome to your topic lesson. Today we're doing RE, and we're learning to explore how people influence us. So to start off, I've got a quick activity for you to do here. I've got 5 different people, and I would like you to put them in order from the most important to the least important. We've got Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, a refuse collector, the person who collects our rubbish and recycling, Justin Bieber, a singer who can't put a hat on properly, it seems, a shop worker, someone who works in a store selling you things, and Albert Einstein, the famous scientist. So, have a go, pause the video in a second. Who is the most important and who is the least important, and put them in order from who you think is the most important to least important. So, pause the video now and have a go at this starter. Okay, welcome back if you pause the video. If you didn't pause the video, maybe you should have done and listened to my instructions. Thank you. Anyway, so I wonder how we got on with this activity. There is no right or wrong answer to this one. Who is important to one person may not be important to another. Some of you may have thought Boris Johnson was the most important person because he is a Prime Minister of the country. Some of you may have thought the refuse collector was the most important person because without him, all our rubbish would build up in our houses and we'd have rats. Some of you might think Justin Bieber is the most important person because otherwise, who would put all those silly hats on? You may have thought the shop worker was the most important person because without them we can't buy anything and we'll all starve. And some of you might have thought Albert Einstein was the most important because without intelligent scientists in the world, how are we going to invent anything? So there's no right or wrong answer here. This was just a starting to think about who you think the most important people are. So let's move on to who is important in our lives. So who is important in your lives? Again, pause the video here, and if you didn't last time, listen to me this time, thank you. Pause the video and have a think, have a chat about who are the important people in your life. So pause the video now. Okay, so those of you who didn't pause the video, I was watching on your camera, I know who you are. Anyway, let's think about who might be important in our lives. You may have picked your family, for example. Of course, they're probably very important in your lives. Your friends, your teacher, especially if you're in 4A, I am definitely important in your life. And of course, you may have picked some pets in there. Now, I'm sure you've picked many others, but they were just some I thought of the top of my head. So we're thinking about important people in our lives today. So the next thing we want to think about is, what does the word influence mean? And again, pause the video now, have a chit chat with the people around you. What does influence mean? Okay, welcome back to all those people who paused. So the word influence means the power to affect the behavior or development of people or things. So quite a complicated explanation there, but what it actually means is if someone has influence, then they have an effect. They can change your behavior or your development. So that could be somebody who can change the way you do things, or even the things that you do. So have a think about the kind of people who have the ability to change your behavior and the things you actually do and produce. So that's what the word influence means. So let's think about, how do these people influence you? So your family, your friends, your teacher, and your pets. How do they influence you? What do they do that changes your behavior or makes you do something differently to you would have done before? What is it you do because of these people? And again, have a pause of the video and have a think, have a chat with the people around you. How do they influence you? Okay, welcome back, pausers. So let's think about potentially some of the answers you could have come up with. So your family may influence your behavior. For example, if all of your family support a football team, then maybe they have influenced you to support the same football team. If all of your family really like shredded wheat for breakfast, maybe they have influenced you to enjoy shredded wheat as well, because they all like it, so you've tried it and you like it as well. Maybe your friends have influenced your behavior in good things. Maybe they've taught you how to be better at subjects. Maybe they've influenced you to do something wrong. So maybe one of your friends has had the power over you to make you do something a little bit naughty. I'm sure you wouldn't ever do that, but sometimes we have the influence to do that. Your teacher, what influence do they have over you? Well, they have the influence to make you want to learn, to get better at things, hopefully, maybe to give chocolate bars over to the wonderful teachers. That's what they affect you. That's the behavior they affect of you. They want chocolate. Okay, especially Miss Barrett loves chocolate. And finally, your pets. I'm sure they've got some kind of influence. Those of you who have pets, I'm sure you've all sat there and played with your pets, even if you want to do something different just because they wanted a stroke. So all of these groups or these people have an influence over you. Okay. So, who else might influence you? Well, I've put two people here who've been in the news recently and how they think they might have an influence over you. So, we've got Marcus Rashford, the footballer who's obviously helped get the free school moves for children, and Taylor Swift, who does a lot of singing and complaining at the same time, it seems. But she does shake it off, so we all enjoy that in PE. Okay, so who else might influence you? You might have had those people, but for example, is someone like Marcus Rashford who's doing really well at helping children, how might that influence you? Or someone like Taylor Swift, who's such a famous singer, how might that influence you? So there'll be lots of people who do lots of really big influences in your life, and other people who have really small influences. They may not even know they're doing it, but they'll have an influence on your life. So today I would like you to think about the people who are influential in your life and fill in this short fact file about them. So we'll have a picture. We need to know who influences me, why they're important, and what do they influence you to do. So I've done one here. This is my dad. That's obviously not an actual picture of my dad. He's not that bald and he's not actually a Viking. But you need a picture of the person who's influential in your life. Who is the person who influences me? My dad. Why are they important? My dad is important because he helped raise me when I was a child. He still supports me when I need help with fixing things or looking after my children. So in this section, I'm telling you why he's important to me. And then what do they do? What do they influence you to do? He has influenced me to always try hard and not give up when things get difficult. He has influenced me to help other people when they are struggling to succeed on their own. So I would like you to think of a few people who are influential in your life at the moment and to fill in this fact file about them with a lovely picture of them. Tell me who they are, why are they important, and what do they do to influence you. Interested to see how you get on, and I will see you later.